Hi, it's Faith. I'm glad you could be here. Have you ever had life start to come together and then suddenly fall apart again? If you have, stay with me because this isn't just my story, it might be yours in a different form as well. And if you're in a season where you're constantly feeling like you're rebuilding, constantly feeling like you're starting over, or trying to hold your life together while everything feels unstable, this might give you language for what you're carrying. I'm not here to give answers, but just some understanding because I've been there too. And maybe just a little less isolation as well, because that's what I need too. You know, a couple years ago, I had my own apartment. And I want to give some context to that because it's not coming from an easy life. You know, that stability I had made for myself came after divorce, moving countries, and after losing my sister, and after cutting ties with my narcissistic mother. So my apartment wasn't just a place, it was a rebuilt life. It was the first time things felt like they were settling again after so much loss. You know, I had routines, I had plants on my patio, and I was creating again, painting. I was building my space, small quiet things that felt like I had a place in the world. And I began thinking that maybe this is the beginning of stability. Then it started falling apart. I lost my job, I lost my housing, and I ended up living out of my car and having to sell everything. All my possessions. And I want to say this clearly because I don't think people always understand it. It doesn't feel like starting over. It feels like something you built with your hands just gets taken apart while you're still standing trying to hold it together. It's been about a year and I've been living in temporary housing. When you lose your job and you lose your apartment, there's fallout financially because you're not able to pay all these bills coming in. You have to break your lease and they charge for that, $3,500. And you can't rent another apartment unless you pay that debt. It's like a catch-22. I've been trying to stabilize. I'm surviving paycheck to paycheck, and I'm just grateful I have a job now, even though I don't make as much. I'm trying to deal with the debt and the fallout from the loss. And it's like it never lets you breathe long enough to reset. And I've had to learn to just keep going while not even feeling grounded. Alone. One of the hardest parts hasn't even been logistics. It's been trying to explain it to people because when I say it out loud, everything that's happened to me and I've been through, it doesn't even seem real. I think, wow, it sounds like I'm making some wild story up. Like, how does that even happen to someone? It sounds like way too much that can happen to someone in one life. I can see in that moment where people don't quite know how to take it. Some can understand hardships, of course. But when I hear myself even say what I've been through and what I'm going through, I'm like, wow, coming out of my mouth, it doesn't sound real. It is very real. And I'm still in it. I'm still stabilizing. I'm still rebuilding pieces of a life that I actually want to live, not survive. And I'm sharing this because I know I'm not the only one. There are people and others out there living quietly in survival mode too, while looking like everything's fine on the outside. People who keeps restarting life without warning. People who keep restarting life without warning. People who finally start to breathe and they lose ground again. And if that's you, I just want to say something simple. You're not crazy for feeling tired. You're not weak for feeling affected by it. And you're not alone in how long it takes to recover from this kind of life disruption. I don't have a perfect ending to this right now. that I can have a home that stays, that I can rebuild something that doesn't disappear overnight. You know, Psalm 34 says the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. I hold on to that when things feel heavy, not because everything is fixed, but because I have to believe I'm not carrying it alone. And you're not carrying this alone either. And it's been really hard, and you're still in the process. Leave a comment. You're not alone, and you've got this. We've got this. But this is my story. I'm still reshaping it. I'm still writing it. And I'm just glad to know I'm not alone. Because some days feels really bad. Some days feel really great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for existing. I love you. This is Faith. Take good care. Bye for now.